Joe Rogan's DMT experience.
There's a ton of them, like that one. That one in specific,
dude,
that is DMT.
That's very DMT.
That is DMT.
Wow, that is hardcore DMT.
Hardcore DMT. When you do DMT, you see that. And you see that in a way where it's so much more spectacular than anything you ever see under normal consciousness.
Is your body there? Like, are you
it's
like...
It's not a body thing. You're not thinking of
but
your body. Your eyes are closed.
I mean, I'm myself.
Yeah, you're yourself.
Like, you look around?
You're yourself,
dude, if you open your eyes, do you ever look at somebody while you're on DMT? Like, you smoke it?
No, I've always kept my eyes closed.
Okay, well, I did that 2 times, close my eyes, and 1 time open my eyes and look at somebody. And they had 6 arms like a Hindu.
Yeah, somebody else was just saying
I might have been telling you this at the comedy store.
You told me at the green room.
What is your time perception gets broken down. And that's the craziness. And so then motion looks like sick.
Like Shiva.
It looked like a Hindu thing, and I'm like, wow, I imagine being on that stuff, and you see something. I mean, that looked to me so much like a vision from DMT. Those 6-arm kind of got. Really,
I saw one hovering here, and then in every direction out from him, there was an infinite number of those, and they were all hovering and vibrating around me.
What do you think now of DMT?
Well, it could be anything. I mean, it definitely could be some sort of an insane hijacking of your sensory nervous system, and it produces this spectacular psychedelic effect that's so profound, this hallucinogenic effect that's so profound that it literally is like a transcendent experience and changes your life. It's totally possible.
Like that to me.
It's totally possible that it's just a chemical thing. What's also possible is that life itself, that whatever the fuck life is, and especially whatever the fuck intelligent life is not understood. What consciousness is not understood. And this idea that things can only exist in this realm, that's not proven. Also the fact that when those quantum physicist guys start breaking down the nature of reality and they come up with, I don't know how the fuck they do this, I'm just talking out of my ass, but they come up with the idea that there's 11 dimensions.
Right.
And that they literally, I mean, and this is all changing and constantly evolving and moving, and they're constantly adding to this. It is entirely possible that there's a bunch of other shit that's around us all the time that's just not here, and we don't have access to it. And when you do DMT, whomp, you go into that other place.
That's what's so fucking unsettling, dude. It's like, it's not like you're going, it's like the shit's here.
I always feel like it's lessons. I always feel like it's time to go to school. Sit down, here's what's going on. One of the last ones, more profound ones, was a bunch of jesters that were all giving me the finger.
Really?
They were all circling around me like, give me the finger.
They're like, who named you?
That was Twitter.
No, you know
what? I'm trying to teach you about Twitter.
It's teaching, if you're tense, and if you're reacting negatively to this jester giving you the finger, like, how do you feel of yourself? Are you in constant defensive mode? And then when I sort of relaxed myself, they started wagging their finger back and forth like, yep, that's it. That's it.
That's cool.
It was very, very strange. These things that you see but you can't define are constantly changing. So if you try to like say, oh, it looked like a jester, it probably did for a few seconds. For a few seconds, it looked like a jester, and then it imploded and became stars, and then it sucked in and became geometric patterns, and then became neon-colored worms that were making love to each other in a giant infinite bundle of yarn. Like, it becomes weirder and weirder shit all the time.
Is it hard to remember when you're done?
It's almost impossible. Even me saying it, I'm kind of full of shit. I'm kind of full of shit because I don't totally remember what I saw. I remember what I remember to write down. I remember what I repeated, so I'm like going back on like my repeated versions of what I saw. But I remember like flashes of the intense, profound nature of the experience. Look, for sure you learn a lot about yourself when you do those experiences. I learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about how I interact with people. I saw negative thoughts like expressed as like this dark green and black, like twisted sort of pattern. And then when my thoughts went positive, it blossomed like the most beautiful flowers you can imagine. It was crazy. It was literally a lesson in thinking toxically, and then and this is probably like 2008-ish, somewhere around then, that was this particular experience that literally changed who I am. Literally changed how I talk to people, literally changed how I feel about people. Watching a negative thought being expressed as this dark pattern, and then the positive thought, I just let it go like, oh, I see, I'm doing it to myself, and then boom. And then you just relax and enjoy, like, this is so beautiful, and because you're looking at something so beautiful, that feeling of seeing beauty makes it more beautiful, and it's just getting more, and like tears are rolling down my eyes. It was a stunning, stunning experience.
Joe Rogan gets into a deep DMT discussion.
Are you nervous about it?
Yeah, I don't know what it does.
Just do a little bit. Just do a little. Do a little and you're fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, you just try it out. You do a little,
Should I be alone when I do it?
The first time, you should do it with a friend.
Who knows how to...
Yeah, I would say just to take one cap. Just something light. You'll feel good. The mushrooms want you to like them. And so the first time you do it, they're going to welcome you. They're going to be like, oh, man, this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
We're going to straighten out all your personal problems, all these little weird personality tics that you got, all this strange shit, trouble you keep getting yourself into.
I fucking do, too.
We'll help you. The mushrooms are going to talk to you. We'll help you. And then one day they're going to trick you into taking a large dose, and then you're going to meet the aliens. And you're going to realize that this dimension that we live in it's connected to neighboring dimensions that are accessible through certain psychedelics. And then once you see that, you can never unsee it. It's regular life loses its seriousness. It loses like 20% of its seriousness. It's still serious, still regular life, but 20% of it goes away forever. Because you know that that's possible. You know that these other worlds exist, and that other people are just out there running through their entire life from birth to death, and they never experience those worlds.
How did you consume it?
Freebasing it. You freebase it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a fiend?
Yeah, like a fiend. It's like a glass bowl connected to like a tube, and you light the bottom of the bowl. The DMT sits inside the bowl.
What is the...
It looks like a white powder. Okay. Like a white, almost yellowish white powder. Depending on which one you take. The 5-methoxy DMT is white, and then the other stuff was more like white with like a little bit of yellow to it. And you take it, it tastes like burnt plastic. It tastes terrible. And you take a big deep breath. You want to take like 3 big inhales. The first time I did it, I only took 1, and I just got to the door. I got like to the door of the DMT dimension. I was like, what is this? This is weird. It was really weird, but I didn't even know what weird was, because like 20 minutes later, I did a second one. And the second one, I took way more. I took like 3 big hits. And then it was almost like you're in a slingshot or a catapult. It was like you could feel the tension, like tick, 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 tick. And all of a sudden, you shot through these colors and lights into like what felt like some new place.
What is your physical doing during all of this?
Just laying there. Yeah. One time recently I did it, like the last time I did it was like a couple years ago. I opened my eyes in the middle of it. It was very strange. It's like I can almost see reality, but it was all real pixelated, and it was like I was seeing life through like a dirty saran wrap or something. It was just very strange. And then I closed my eyes back and I went. It's the experience of the psychedelic realm is more vivid than regular life, which is real strange. Because it doesn't feel like you're on a drug, because you're still you. That's another part of it. It doesn't change like when you're drunk, it changes the way you think. Like you think different. This is not that. This is like you think the same way, but you're being confronted with something that's insanely alien. Just alien to everything that you know to be true. And then there's all these things around you that seem to be alive. And they seem to be talking to you and communicating with you. The last time I did it, was a bunch of jokers that were giving me the finger. Like jesters. Jesters with like, they have the little bells.
Yeah.
They were all like shaking and giving me the finger and like spinning around like going, fuck you. They were mocking me. And the thing that I got from it was like, oh, I take myself too seriously. I need to be mocked. And they were mocking me. And as they were mocking me, I relaxed. And then they like pointed at me like, you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. Because you can get lost. You can take yourself seriously, and you want others to take you. Like, what is the grossest kind of man? Like the kind of man who wants everyone to tremble when he walks into a room, wants, rose petals thrown at his feet. He wants everyone to call him sir.
And be uncomfortable.
Yeah, everyone to be uncomfortable because he's a fucking man.
Yeah.
And that kind of guy responds very poorly to being mocked, right? So I think that it was like letting me know, like, hey, bitch, you got a little of that in you. You need to get that out of your system.